friend of mine sent me a picture today from Cambodia. They're visiting Angkor Wat, and they sent me a video of some monkeys, which I thought was really cool. It reminded me of that movie from the 90s, Outbreak, with Dustin Hoffman, and, we giggled about that. Not because it was a good movie, although I probably thought it was in 1995. Turns out those are capuchin monkeys in the movie and not the rhesus monkeys that exist at Angkor Wat. But nonetheless, it was a nice little video from a good friend who's overseas and traveling. I didn't realize that was a bucket list place for me, but it is. So thank you for sending me that. If you're watching this when you get back. But it also reminded me of some of the shit I'm dealing with right now, just some stuff I'm going through, and how far I've come, how far I have to go. And I was just reminded of that this morning, where I had to cut someone off. And one of the things I've dealt with in my life over the last few years is flying monkeys. Maybe you have too. You know of the concept of a flying monkey, and it sucks. There's no way around it. A flying monkey, if you don't know, is somebody who is doing the bidding of somebody else. Sometimes they know it, sometimes they don't. They're passing messages, or they're just providing information that they don't realize is part of a toxic dynamic or a dysfunctional dynamic, the cycle of abuse and violence. And that information then gets weaponized against you. And it hurts. It really, really hurts. And being able to recognize it in the moment and shut it down and then move on, it's part of healing. And that's great. That I've done the work. I've done a lot. But it still hurts. And there's an anxiety that, for me at least, physically builds in my throat, reminding me of how far I still have to go. And both of those things can be true. A couple of things I've learned how to deal with flying monkeys is to just be firm. Be firm in your boundaries. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to discuss that. You don't need to provide an explanation. You don't owe anyone an explanation. One thing I've learned is to not argue with someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. Just like, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. And just move on. Another thing to do is to block the contact, remove the contact, exit the conversation, whatever it is. And yes, isolation and triangulation is part of this. And a goal is to isolate you, but also, what cost is the price of your peace? And being able to just focus in on that and free of that noise. And that might mean cutting off family members or removing yourself from dynamics and environments that have been part of your life for years. So anyways, all that saying, bonus tip, sometimes these monkeys are just dropping off bananas. They don't realize it. It's just, it's not so much what has happened, but like how you react can be part of it. So avoid the conflict, avoid the confrontation, because that's another form of gaslighting. That is an entirely other video, I promise. I've done one before. So you don't choose the monkeys. Sometimes they're not even choosing you, but you can choose the door that you can close to be free of those monkeys. Wicked Witch of the West or not. If you've dealt with this, if this is something that at all resonates or you have experience with, drop a line in the comments below. Love to hear what's a one-liner you use to get yourself out or exit. Anyways, block fast, block early, and may your day be filled with love.